Welcome to the Kee To Growth Podcast, Home Services Marketing Unlocked, with me, your host, Jen McKee. Every week, I sit down with top marketers in the trades, from the brains behind $100 million companies to those scaling from 1 to 3, even to 10 million, breaking down exactly how they got where they are and uncover the secret to their success. If you're ready to grow your business and get real, actionable insights, you're in the right place. Let's unlock the key to your marketing success, starting now.
Key Marketing specializes in Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube to build your brand awareness or drive leads using social media ads. If you're ready to elevate your social media, go to keyheartmarketing.com or follow us on social media. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Kee To Growth Podcast. I'm your host, Jen McKee, and today I am super excited about our guest. I actually just had the pleasure of meeting her this summer at the Nexstar Marketing Edge. She is a marketing expert at a local home service company in Madison, Wisconsin. Today, I have Theresa Girardi. Theresa, if people don't know who you are, please give us a little intro. Tell us who you are.
I live in the greater Madison, Wisconsin area, and I work for a heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical, and sewer and drain company here in Madison, Wisconsin. And I am a marketer who has done lots of different things, functional tasks, you'd say, I guess, of marketing. I've done them all. So website building, email marketing. I do social media, actually graphic design as well. So I've been able to use all the training I've had actually from my 4-year degree that I had in communications and lots of on-the-job experience.
I love that. And so you've been in home services as the marketing manager for about 10 years. Is that right?
That's right.
And one thing I love, and I want to start with this because I think that this is something that all of us I think it's important for all of us, no matter what journey or goals that we have. But you guys are Nexstar members and you utilize your coaches at Nexstar, which, I mean, you have years and years of experience, not only in home services, but in marketing. This is your degree. And yet you still lean on these coaches to really help walk you through that. So how long have you guys, I mean, this isn't, by the way, Nexstar's not, they're not promoting this episode or anything, but I just think that it's great to, being a part of a best practice group like that and then really utilizing it. So how long have you guys been Nexstar members? And then when did you really jump into the marketing coach side of it?
So All Comfort Services has been a member since 1999. And actually, just step back a little bit, the company was started over 50 years ago by Larry Davies. He started in the basement of his home. He and his wife ran the company. Fast forward to now, he, instead of selling the company to private equity, which is kind of a natural progression for some folks who own companies in our industry, he wanted to leave it to us, the employees. And he turned this into an ESOP about 3 years ago. So we're kind of a tiny ESOP, a tiny business right now. We're just kind of almost starting out, but we have a 50-year company. We're stewarding a 50-year-old company, essentially. And so back to your question again. What was the question?
Okay. Hang on. I'm writing myself a note.
Nexstar. So Nexstar.
Yeah. How long have you guys been Nexstar members and how long have you been utilizing it?
Absolutely. I'm so happy to talk about Nexstar. So once Larry started Nexstar in 1999, that catapulted the business because what Nexstar does is you go from a, 1 or 2 person shop and you tend to give things away and you don't, you have to run it like a business and get people to do the account. If you don't like accounting, get someone else to do the accounting.
Yeah.
Get someone to do the marketing. And they also invested in marketing. They knew how important it was. So once they were part of Nexstar helps companies to have the latest information, best practice information in every facet of the business. And so marketing is a number one thing. Accounting, business coaching, sales coaching, service systems. So technicians don't just show up to the house and say, where's the problem? And go to the problem. They talk to the customer. Did I park in the right spot? Put booties on. Here's what's going to happen today. So they talk about their agenda and it helps the customer feel comfortable. I really don't think I would have understood how to market this industry had I not been part of the Nexstar training. I essentially was in this position and was told, learn it. So I learned it from the ground floor up and I'm I'm the type of person that if I don't know something, I'll go out and research it and I'll connect with other people. So I connected right away with the fantastic marketing network in Nexstar, and I've been friends with them ever since. And I connect almost weekly with marketers across the US with lots of different questions about how to do what we do here.
Yeah. I think that no matter what career you're in, whether you are the marketing manager listening to this, whether you're the owner, I think that having people in your circle at my conference, Laura Kelly taught us that you have to have your who's, like who you can go to. And part of your who's are people who are on the same path as you. Part of your who should be people who are ahead of you, who have already done this, who have the knowledge. And so I love that you guys are part of this group that gives you a lot of who's. It gives you people you can reach out to who have already been there. It gives you people who are on the same path as you. And that's how we get better. So I have actually I have two questions from what you said. The first thing that I think is really cool is that you guys all got ownership of this company. I think that's a really unique exit. It's just not something that a lot of people talk about. But how many people about to have ownership of it, or are people allowed, like when they get hired, they buy into it? I'm just not really sure how that works.
Great question. So we're a split shop. We're part union. So the non-union folks are the ESOP partners. So what's really great about that is, so it's a great partnership with our union team and non-union, is that we have a skin in the game, and union has a fantastic package. So we can offer our employees the shares. And so immediately when someone starts, they are in, they have to be vested. So over time, they would be 100% vested. So every year they're here, they're going to accumulate those shares. And so that makes people want to stay. And so it makes us different from other companies because people have a reason to stay here. So it helps the technicians. They're out in the field and they may not have someone every other week is coming and going. They have people who want to stay here and have a real investment.
Not only do they want to stay, but they want to win. I'm sure you guys then have to teach them about business. Like, you can only win if you're making money. You can only make money if you're doing the right things, if your customers are coming back, if you're converting the leads, like all of those things. Is that kind of in your training? Like, this is like, business stuff.
100%. People do have a stake in it. And so as a management team, we come together and we talk about all of that. We all know the financials. We know where we're headed. Then the managers can share what they need to share with their team. And we have metrics, KPIs that we go over that are generated from best practices from Nexstar. And so everyone knows what our goals are and what we're trying to achieve.
I love that. That's so cool. Okay. So then the other question I have, you mentioned the owner always investing in marketing, and we know you and I are marketers, and we know how important it is to consistently be investing in marketing, but it can also be uncomfortable. Sometimes things don't have direct ROI. Sometimes things are a little bit scary. And so tell us what some of the initial marketing looked like when you say like they were always investing in marketing, and then we'll kind of get into what is working for you guys now.
As best practice, they know that a certain percentage of the budget needs to be allocated to marketing in order to achieve our goals. And then one thing, I've been here for 10 years, but I like to think that all of the work that I'm doing is I'm carrying forward what was done 50 years ago. We just had our open house, and I was just talking to customers that have known Larry for over 50 years. Yeah. So most of our database are folks that have come along, and then maybe they transition to a different home, and now they have new homeowners. And thankfully, because of marketing, you put stickers in the home, those folks will know who did the work last, so that it carries through. So I'm carrying the torch, and all the technicians, all the work that they did. So for example, if someone puts a sticker in the home, a technician gets a call today from a technician 10 years ago who left it for a tech today. So the job's never done. You're always needing to get the call board filled. So that's kind of how I look at it. And yes, marketing is sort of a shot in the dark somewhat, but you have, honestly, I don't think I would have been able to look at it had I not had the training from the coaches at Nexstar. I highly recommend other Nexstar members take their beginning marketing class and bring the general manager or the owners with you, because you need people to understand what it is and understand the main chunks that you need to market. Branding, so that people have awareness of who you are. Branding is awareness. It's not a logo. It's how people feel about you when they think of you. And digital marketing. So, it's a way to get people to contact you. It's kind of like Yellow Pages back in the day. It's the same principle. And in fact, the budget that people had in the Yellow Pages back in the day, because I was transitioning, they were ending all of that, and we were getting more into digital. It's kind of that budget. And then, social media and direct mail. Direct mail is very important too. One of the things I learned at the Nexstar training, which was very interesting, because we think, targeted marketing, and digital marketing, that's really important and stuff. Well, getting a piece of paper, a postcard, is just as effective, because when someone goes to the mailbox, they take that piece of paper and they're looking at it. They may be doing something with it. It may be 30 seconds. Then they have to decide, did I put it in recycling? Do I put it on the counter? That's one thing that they talked about in the Nexstar training, little things like that you think about, and you build into your plan.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, I want to talk a little bit about how you guys re-engage the 50-year database. So obviously not everybody has 50 years of past customers, but as we learned in this most recent Marketing Edge workshop, that your past customers, the people who already know you, are going to be more likely to convert for a second job at a higher conversion rate, but also to pay more money. And so they're really your best customers, is this re-engagement. So you guys have the stickers, which now are great 10 and 20 years later. But what are some other ways that you're continuing to re-engage your past customers?
So we have a membership plan, and those are your very best customers. So that is that you provide customers will pay a monthly fee and to get a service. So they'll get a gas furnace and AC tune-up. And then we give a plumbing and electrical inspection. So those folks are a way for us to continue to provide that great service. They are our very best customers. And then there's the customers that aren't part of that. They're also our best customers, our good customers. So re-engaging, that might be the lapsed customers. They just didn't do anything. So we try to re-engage those folks with the direct mail piece. So just to keep it top of mind, because they still haven't, converted yet, or they will convert when they get the postcard. I've noticed that they do. So
awesome. Okay. So I know that you guys have been a part of the Lennox Feel the Love program, and it's something that you guys are really proud of. So tell us a little bit about the program, and then I want to know how you got involved and how you guys executed it.
Sure. So first of all, I want to say I don't always wear sequins, on an interview.
I meant to bring that up too. I love it. I appreciate it.
A nod to Jen, because in the workshop, she was at the Nexstar Marketing Edge workshop where I met Jen. She was sitting at my table, and first thing I noticed, she's wearing a skirt and a jacket with all the sequins. I said, "So why are you wearing the sequins? And why don't you tell a story why you wear your sequins?"
I wear my sequins. So if you ever see me out, especially at an event, I'm always wearing sequins. And the sequins are really like two purposes. One of them is it's a conversation starter. It's a way to meet people. It's a way to be remembered. And the other one is that is your first lesson in marketing and social media, is that social media should really be a place that you are standing out and you are remembered. And so it's not a place where you want to blend in. It's a place where you want people to notice you. And that's what the sequins do too. So that's my sequins lesson, is always make sure that you're standing out in your social media. Have a reason for people to want to talk to you.
Well, you inspired me, and, it helped me to be on my very first podcast to find a way to sort of get on this show. I mean, to be able to first time on a podcast where someone's interviewing me.
I love it. And we will get into your podcast, because I think that I love that idea. But I know I just asked about Lennox Love, so I don't want to get off the topic there.
Yeah, I really want to talk about Lennox Feel the Love. So Lennox Feel the Love started in 2009, and it started from dealers who were from our company and from around Wisconsin and Michigan. And it was called Heat Up Wisconsin at that time. Heat Up with UP being Upper Michigan. And so, and I have to mention Dave Chapman. He was our Lennox territory manager, and he was inspiring all the dealers. They wanted to give back to people who served, and they did. And it was so successful that it was used by other dealers in other states. And then Lennox now has created this Lennox Feel the Love program, which has been going on for, almost 17th year now. Since that time, it's been in 47 states and Canadian provinces, and they've helped 3,100 families across that area.
So how can people get involved with it?
So dealers can go to feelthelove.com. They can talk to their territory manager to get involved. So August 31st of every year is when nominations are, when they're, so we're getting close to that, but August 31st is when nominations are accepted. And then if people go past that August 31st date, they just go into the next year. Anyone in the U.S. and Canada, provinces in Canada can nominate someone. In the past, it's been first responders and caregivers and families navigating unexpected financial challenges, veterans, educators. It's a way to say thank you and give back. So Lennox donates an air conditioner and gas furnace, and then the dealers donate the labor and the parts and the equipment. And it's a really fun day. We all enjoy going and doing that. And so it's been a fantastic program. And that's why I'm wearing the red shirt and the bling to kind of create awareness around it.
I love that. We definitely have some clients who have been a part of that program over the years. And it's always really such a cool story. And I want to add this to it because I know sometimes we give and we don't want to share how we give and how we give back because we want to give back from a place of not needing recognition for it. But I also challenge that because when you share the things that you're doing, you bring visibility to these other programs and give them legs to be able to give back even more. So when you share the Feel the Love project that you do with your company, you bring more awareness to Feel the Love. Even Theresa here talking about it now brings more awareness to that, which can help us find more people to support. And so when you give back, don't shy away from sharing it. You bring visibility to those organizations that are helping our communities and the people that are helping our communities. So I do always encourage putting it on your social media, putting it in your newsletter, making it a big deal. I think Lennox, even for some of our clients, will pay for like the photography or videography of that install. At least I could be totally wrong, but I think that has happened in the past too.
Right. You brought up a really good point about not, that it's important to share. And, as marketers, we have to toot the horn. And in my industry, I noticed fairly, immediately that people don't want to toot their horn. And so what I was like, what's going on here? And so what I realized is those folks are service people. People in our industry, just like police, paramedics, healthcare workers, they are of service and they're not about tooting their own horn. So we have to do that. And we have to help them to do that too. So other marketers, I know they will be saying, yes, it's really a challenge, to do that. So then we have to put ourselves out there. And so then I'll segue into that next piece is the podcast.
Yeah.
So, I always want to put the company team first because that's who's going into the home. That warms up the call. People feel safe knowing who is going into their home. But there weren't any volunteers, and I decided to do something bold and put myself out there. And I was uncomfortable, but I thought it doesn't matter. This is not about me. It's about getting our message out there. And I have to do a shout out to Gary Vandichek because he spoke at one of the Nexstar super meetings, and this was so it's been over a year now that the podcast came out. So the year that he was there. I didn't go to that, but I went and looked online because I heard all the buzz about it. And he had the entire episode on his YouTube channel, and I listened to it on my way to work.
Nice.
And he said, you got to start a podcast. And I was like, I'm going to start a podcast. And the moment that I decided to do that, my boss said, that's great. What can I do to help? So he actually, this is my studio. There was no space to do the
Yeah.
podcast in at all in the building. So I'm like, well, I'm just going to turn my office into a studio. So my boss said, well, I can paint. I'm like, okay, paint a wall, picked out the paint. And then the electrician manager, Aaron, so there's a sign behind me, and I bought a local sign with our logo, and he wired it with LED lights all around it. I could turn it on, but it doesn't really show well on the camera. And anyway, and he hid the cord so that you don't see it. And then bought some curtains at Target, and he installed them for me on PVC pipe. And so it was like a team effort, and I got all this support. And then you think, okay, so who am I going to interview? And how do I do this? So I just followed the lead of other podcasts. I listen to podcasts all the time. And so here's the key. Here's how I kind of let it unfold. And I also didn't give myself any rules. My rule was to provide information to help people. So, I've exhausted a lot of our team members doing it because you can only ask them so much, but some of them use it as a way to grow too. Some of the team members I interviewed, like they were teaching other people in the trade, and they said, I want to get a little better at that. Can I, be on the podcast? And I'm like, yeah. So we provided information about plumbing, electrical. And so, once I kind of exhausted some of those topics, which are great topics and helpful to homeowners, I wanted to share community things, because as a marketer, how do you show up every day and want to be there and have a zest and joy? I've been doing this for 10 years. Some people might get burnt out. Well, I'm doing what I love, and I'm using all my skills, gifts, and talents from all the jobs I've had and my training and my personal interest in helping the community. And that really fits in well with marketing, because we are a low to no interest category. It's like Horton Hears a Who. I always explain, we have to do something extraordinary for people to think about us, because the minute I talk about what I do to people outside, they just kind of glaze over. Nobody cares about HVAC plumbing until you have a problem.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I think you said some really great things. The first thing that you said is that you had no rules and you let it unfold. And I think that is such great advice. I think that it's so easy for us to always get in our head whenever we want to start something new, and honestly get on camera. Most people, I will say, are super uncomfortable on camera until you just keep doing it. And even then, sometimes it can feel like a chore, or it can feel like, okay, well, I have to get dressed. I have to make sure my hair looks okay. I have to, there's like so much that goes into it. Having no rules, letting it unfold, just letting it happen. And that's something that Gary Vee teaches, is to just do it. Like, quit thinking about it and just do it. And it will evolve and it will become something different as it goes. But it's like, I love the analogy of, like, you can read 100 books about swimming, but you're not going to get any better swimming until you actually get in the water. And that's like, that is creating a podcast, and that is creating content. So I think that's really good. And the other thing is that you said you needed this social media content, but you couldn't get people to be on video. And so you kind of created a solution to where then you got everyone on video. Is that right?
Yeah.
I love that.
I'm getting lots of them, right.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think that many marketers in your position struggle with that, is convincing other people on the team to create these social media videos. They don't want to be on social media. They don't want to do the video. They don't want to do the thing. And so I love that you created a solution, which then actually got everybody on video and got you content that you needed. Is that right?
Yeah, that's funny. I never thought about it that way. I love that. Yes, absolutely. It's just, necessity is the mother of invention, and you have to be creative. I tend to lean on the creative side versus qualitative more than versus quantitative. You need to play all those hats, so I'm playing to my, use your advantages, whatever that is that you have, bring to the job, because you were hired for a reason. They saw something in you, and then you develop as you go along, and, with support, you can do that. Yeah. And I think that a lot of people get burnt out, or they, try something as a marketer for 1 or 2 or 3 years, and then they spin out because they're impatient. They may be impatient. They think that their thing hasn't arrived yet. But what I learned is that, if you're in the right place and it's growing and evolving, you could grow with it if you just be patient. And then, a lot of times, things just didn't come to me. I volunteered at the beginning of my career with all kinds of different organizations just to get experience or just to satisfy my curiosity because it wasn't on the job. So if you don't have it on the job, don't be discouraged. Go find it because then you'll get to develop that, So, and gosh, today we can do anything with digital. You can create your own podcast about anything, your own social media channel about anything you're interested in. And I think it was Gary Vaynerchuk again that he was talking about. He said, if you're a golf instructor, he gave this example, I think it was, and you do surfing, he said, talk about your surfing.
Yeah.
Because let's say you get 1 million followers and they go, what does this guy do? They look at his pro. Oh, he does golf lessons. I really like what he does. And so I have him as a coach.
I love that. So, okay. So you created this podcast. So then what do you do with it? Do you have a YouTube channel? Does it go on how do you use that content?
Yeah. So, and I want to add one more thing that I didn't mention that kind of, like I said, evolved. And what I realized, and as a marketer, I know I'm talking to marketers out there, you get contacted weekly for donating money, which all these causes are great. We can't possibly donate to everything. And I think the hardest part was to try to come up with an answer to people who would contact you. And so what worked out great is that, we can't donate money because we donate for these other causes, but I can give you a platform on the podcast.
Yeah.
And so this way I can share these things in the community. And if they have access to the video and they can post it, so this way they can promote their own activities. And then what I do is, back to what you asked your question. So what I do is the channel is on YouTube and then it's on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And so when the video is complete, there are a number of shorts that are created from the video. And then those are used to post social content. And so everyone in the short and in the podcast, all their audiences, hopefully they've told people, hey, our organization is being interviewed and I hope they share it because then they can share it with their audience. Yes, it's helping us, but it's helping them too. So we both win. It's purely to help. My intention is to help. And as those are signals to, large language models. Everyone needs to get domain authority. So, hey, link to us, like and share, comment, because, that's only going to help your organization because we have grown our authority over all these years. And so we have value and then you do too. So we're going to help each other.
And then also it's about connection. So now you're getting this person's reaching out, asking if you can donate money. And instead of doing that, you're having a whole conversation with them where then you guys get to know each other just a little bit, which then builds connection. And, that one-to-one seems so crazy whenever we're talking about hundreds of calls a day. But I think that one-to-one can be so impactful. And that's why you do community events. And that's why you have this podcast. You interview people on a one-to-one basis. So I think that part is really great too.
Yeah, that's a great insight. You're right. It is. And I it is one customer at a time. So it's about creating a feeling. And so I want them to feel good about that they made a purchase. You know how when you buy something and you buy it and you go, I really made a good choice about buying that. It may have been a little more expensive because it's high quality and we believe we provide that. But, so that's why I want people to feel good about what they've done.
I love that. So I have one more last question, really, just because right now it's been a tough year for home services. People are not spending money the way that they were the past few years. And so I'm curious, what has been the best marketing move you guys have made in the last 6 months, or the best marketing campaign that you put out there that you're like, this one had a high ROI. It was really great. I loved it. Or maybe one that just surprised you.
We've been planning for an open house over several months and we just had it this past weekend. And it was really fantastic. We had about 70 people who came, which is great for a first time. And like I mentioned, it's a low to no interest category. I promoted it all over social media. We did podcast interviews. We put it on all of our TV ads. I'm really proud of what happened. we had people come out throughout the day, and there were customers who have been with us for years and years. And what was really fantastic is that the idea for the open house came through from our electrical estimator. He said, we need to get people here to see how a generator works.
Yeah.
And his manager said, well, let's do it. Let's have an open house. So then it just came out of, the employees, which is fantastic. He's put together a generator simulation that was fantastic. And he had people sitting there. They put chairs around. They're watching and asking. People were serious about purchasing it, and we could give them that individual time. And one person even asked the electrical manager, are you from a company, from like a vendor who sells this? And he said, no, I work here, and I'm explaining what we do. So people were really proud to share what we do, and they brought their families. And we had great giveaways. We had about 20 giveaways. Companies all over donated gift cards. And then we also Lennox donated a gas furnace for giveaway.
Wow.
So it was pretty fantastic. Our first time doing it, and all of the people were engaged, and we had a lot of fun with it. So I think that was a great way to help us all connect as a team.
Yeah.
And, meet with our customers and do something different. And we have a number of people who are wanting appointments for generators and equipment from it. So that was fantastic.
I love that. And so it wasn't even like a birthday anniversary celebration for the company. It was literally just like, we're going to do this open house and teach people about generators.
Exactly. And HVAC equipment, and then plumbing equipment. So we had water heaters, we had heat pump water heaters. We had them physically here. And then we had like a display board, like back in school when you have a board with photos and LED light demonstrations to showing what you can do with your lighting, and then photos of homes that have it, all the different types of LED baseboard, kitchen lighting, accent lighting. And so we showed everything that we do. We even had, they actually didn't mention this, but we had Touch a Truck. And so technicians had each HVAC installers, HVAC service, plumbing, electrical, and sewer and drain. And each tech was at their truck, and their trucks were showing, and I didn't realize, and I didn't think about it, but each of them are equipped for their trade, and kids could come and ask questions about that. And
that
was
cool.
really fun. Yeah.
Did you get some good content for your social media?
I did.
Question of the day.
Just putting it all out there like crazy. I was nonstop. It was great because I could actually ask them right there. It's hard, like I said, it's hard to get a technician to talk. Well, they were a captive audience, so I could just get lots of video.
Great. What a cool idea. Oh my gosh. I hope everybody listening is inspired by that. Just do it. Like, what is the worst that could happen? No one shows up. Like, someone's going to show up. So just do it. Put it out there. I love that, Theresa. Okay, so we've come to the end here. You have shared so many incredible things. And at the end of the Kee To Growth podcast, we ask all of our guests the same question. So, as the name implies, the question is, what is the key to growth?
I think the key to growth is to keep an open mind and say yes. And if you don't know, say, I don't know.
I love it. This has been such a pleasure. If people want to connect with you or just learn more and see what All Comfort Services is up to, where's the best place for them to do that?
I think they can go to my LinkedIn profile, Theresa Girardi, or All Comfort Services. I manage all of the social media channels. So when you're talking to our company, you're going to be talking to me. So if they want to reach out there, I think that would be a great place to reach out to me.
Awesome. I love it. Thank you so much for everything today. This has been great.